Dating Unsettled.
Welcome to the Dating Unsettled show where we dare to date differently. I don't have much time. The femcels will find me and they will kill me. I can already hear them coming. I can hear them. They're on their way. They're marching. They're marching towards me right now, right this very second. But I wanted to tell you that you should DM him. You should do it. I know, for a straight woman of your stature. Sorry, this is a super heteronormative episode of the show. For a straight woman, DMing a man romantically for the first time can be very scary because you get into your head and you're like, oh my God, am I setting up a precedent where I'm going to lead? Am I emasculating him? Does this make me look desperate? But I have to ask you, sister, do you want to be with a man who would be emasculated by a message? Do you really want to get into a relationship with an hombre who would be taken out of his assertiveness, his self-confidence, his machismo, his masculinity by you contacting him? How would that bode for your relationship? Save yourself. Save time. DM him first. No, please. No. I just want the ladies to thrive. No. Please don't take me. I meant well. I wasn't trying to lead them astray. No, but for real. Message him first. Message him first, though. I used to wait for romantic advances. Like, I would very much try because of like how I feel in my body and the type of relationship that I thought I wanted to have. You know, I would kind of like shirk away from that role of contacting a dude and like being the first person to like make a move. I think we all want to be chosen. Men want to be chosen too, and that's what makes this really tough. But as women, we want to be chosen. If you grew up like me, if you listen to episode 1, Joy Unsettled, you grew up like me and you're the girl who wasn't chosen. You're the girl who wasn't selected, the girl that wasn't asked out. You feel like a late bloomer of sorts. You're like, oh, it would be my dream. And in every rom-com, you know, you just see the girl bump in with her coffee and her books, oh, and everything spills over. And then the guy goes, oh, I'm so sorry. And they look up and you're like, wow. Do you... tucks hair behind ear. Do you live around here? You know? He's like, yeah, I just moved in. Can I? And he looks confused and puzzled. Can I take you out to coffee sometime? It's like, we all want that. We want that run-in. During the pandemic, I don't know. But we want that kind of run-in, right? And I was sitting kind of like positioning myself like porcelain on a shelf. Like, my job is to look pretty and attract. I'm a flower. They always compare us to flowers. I'm a flower blooming, and if a man sees me blooming and, you know, just focus on you, sis, and when you're doing you and you're doing right and you're doing everything that you're supposed to do, he's just going to walk up and he's going to pluck from your flower. Very, very unsettling. And that's not, I mean, it happened in some regards. Like, I think when I went out or I'd be in public, like, men certainly flirted with me. They flirted with me. That's no problem. But I got a little bit bored, you know, posturing myself and just waiting for this like correct and right advance to happen. And I started sliding in DMs, I fear. I did. And it was nerve-wracking at first. I think I started by like being in social spaces, whether it's like parties, audio rooms, and like initiating the flirtation. So that was like the beginning of my... I can't even make that. You know, in movies, they always be like, I look so cute today for those of you who are just listening. I look cute and I want it to be seen. I wore a cute low-cut top just for you. Yeah? Okay. All right. I know that the sort of in-person dynamic can happen, will happen. You will be approached if you go out in person and you look approachable. But to put yourself in a room with others, to put yourself at a party, to put yourself online in a group chat, whatever, where you start to flirt, it can feel very rare. It can feel very empowering. It can feel very sexy. It's like, do it. I say do it. And I started doing it, felt a little bit more comfortable. Then I was like, you know what? For some guys, it can be embarrassing. And even for me, right? It can be embarrassing to kind of like shoot that shot in public or in a group setting and it breaks. I've definitely shot, in person and had it brick. I fear I have. And you're just like, which I do think we need to destigmatize the embarrassment of one particular stranger not being romantically or physically interested in you, because why is that your business? I do think we should destigmatize that, but that said, it's embarrassing. So I started going into the DMs. That is what drove me to the DMs. I was like, I want to make sure that I'm still putting myself out there. I'm still flirting. I'm still going after what I want. But at the same time, it doesn't need to be very public. And some guys are turned off by public advances. Some guys are like, oh, yeah, I was into you, but like, I don't like how it happened in front of everyone. So I started DMing. And I would say I got mixed results. Like there was definitely folks I slid on who it was like, oh, I'm glad you slid because if you didn't, I was going to. I was like, what? You're like, what? You was gonna slide. You was gonna slide on all my knives like this. And I was just appreciative of the fact that when I would hit guys, I would get the same energy back. Like that feels great. To be honest, there is nothing like sliding on a dude. He go, yeah. And return that energy. Like, talk to me. Talk to me. I love that. I love that feeling. It's so affirming. You're like, great. All those years of being like rejected and awkward duckling and out of my body and whatever, suddenly you're on your grown and fine behavior. You know what I mean? So sign me up any day. And now I get those affirmations in like a relationship context. But when I was single, I was sliding. And those were the positive responses. I would say the negative responses were kind of like either, oh, haha, thank you. I'm like, thank you. What I'm gonna do with thank you? Other negative responses are neutral, kind of like, oh, I'm sorry, I have a girlfriend. Like, oh, yeah. I was not trying to have somebody come to me as a woman. That was not the intent. So like definitely do your research. Getting to know somebody before you slide is kind of important, but also it's the internet, yo. The stakes are so low. Like you could dead ass just be like, hey, I think you're cute. I think you're lame. And I got those mixed results. I really liked it though. It helped me set up some dates. It actually led to me sliding on my man, which is my current love story or whatever. So I swore that I would take you on this editorial journey of how I fell in love. And I think I'll do that. But you already know I'm in a relationship. So I got to work a little bit backwards. Let me tell you the love story that I'm currently a part of. So I slid on my boyfriend, Yvonne. And at the time, he was very much a stranger. So we met on a dating app. I sent a message first. I don't think that he responded there, or see, he and I always contest this, but it's possible that because his Instagram was linked on the dating app, and I'm a Black woman in tech, because his Instagram was linked on the dating app, I just said, let me go ahead and contact him directly. Like, I don't need to waste time with the app. To me, Instagram is very personal. I love the flirtation that can happen across Instagram, because basically you can show interest in somebody by watching all of their stories, replying to those stories, right? Both emoji replies and written replies. You can send them memes of other things that come across your timeline that remind you of them, or memes or like videos or events or whatever that you think that they would be interested in. You can get all up in their comments. You can like certain comments of theirs that you see happening across the app. You can post things on your own story, on your close friends. Like there are just so many different surfaces for flirtation on Instagram. So I really enjoy what happens there and how much rich context you get about just seeing a guy with his friends, seeing him out, seeing him post his Bible verses and his family. Like that gives me such a gloriously chocolatey rich Cocoa Puffs experience, as opposed to what tends to happen on an app, which is you have like 2 to 10 seconds to review somebody on a really flat surface and make a judgment like, okay, is this the person that I want rearranging my furniture? So that is the situation. And I, saw his Instagram, thought it looked cool. He seemed super Catholic, super Christian, you know what I mean? Very family oriented and loved soccer. He was an athlete. I was like, cool. And I sent him a message and I said, hey, and I put the app and then like a little waving hand emoji. If you're ever in the East Bay, hit me. If you're ever in the East Bay, hit me is essentially what I said. I said, hit me to the man who ended up being my boyfriend. And I think had I known obviously what I know now, that wouldn't have been the first message. But I think that's the point. I think we overbake these messages. I think we get so obsessed. So I just sent him this casual message and he responded. He's like, oh yeah, for sure. I will. Where are you from? And we got into a conversation about where I'm from, what he's doing. Let's get on the phone. He and I hopped on a quick FaceTime. Soon thereafter, and I got to show him all my personality. And it wasn't like me showing off necessarily, but I just think like I like for guys to see who I am right away. Like I don't want to hide pieces of me and negotiate pieces of myself away so that, you start to get me in increments and judge like, oh, is this your flavor? No, I'm gonna serve you the whole bowl, baby. I'm a teriyaki chicken bowl. And you can get all the peas, all the carrots. Oh, it hurts. I eat pears now. You're gonna get everything with me. And I gave him everything on that FaceTime. Everything. I'm perpetually online. I am a radio. I'm a robot. Verbal. Spit. Sorry. That happens sometimes in my head. The confusion. Okay, we're back. We're here. I'm on the same channel as you. I'm on the same channel as you, and I promise you that I slept. Okay, so I hit him up, give him all me on the FaceTime. He's like, cool, digging you, blah, blah, blah. Just gotta let you know, like, I'm not necessarily in a romantic place. I'm, doing some things in my life, more so looking for friends. I walked away. I was like, oh, you're looking for friends? Cool. It's great to know. I'm not. I don't want any more friends. I want my man. That's what I'm looking for right now. So if that's not you, I respect it. No problem. You're super funny. It was nice talking to you. And he goes, let's stay in touch. At this point, y'all, I'm thinking, what? Stay in touch. we we don't know each other. I owe you nothing. You owe me nothing. Like, why are we staying in touch if it's not a romantic connection? That's really how I thought at the time. I did not see any value in keeping in touch with somebody that wasn't immediately interested in dating me. But lo and behold, this guy proposed it. And I was like, yeah, well, he's cute. So why not? Why not stay in touch, right? And we did. But while that staying in touch happened, which was actually over the course of about 6 months, we stayed in touch. It was just him checking in on me. He would offer to pray for me. He would FaceTime me from time to time. Started to go from like, oh, are you free on blah, blah, blah to like hour chats. So now almost like once a month, this guy's like reaching out to me. He's responding to Instagram story pieces. We are not interacting on the dating app, you know what I mean, at this point, because we basically started with the phone, which ended up being super powerful. And through all of that glorious connection, though I was dating other people at the time, I really started to like him. You know what I mean? When I say dating other people, I'm going out, I'm on dinners, and being entertained. Like, I think it is important when somebody says that they're not ready for something that you're ready for, that you very much release yourself. We talked about this, I think, in episode 3, You're Not a Clock. Don't quote me on that. Don't quote me on it, but I think that's when we talked about it's okay to just like free yourself up. Okay, if that person doesn't want what you want. And I freed myself up, and eventually this guy just kept coming back. Like, I would think about him, I'm messaging him, and it wasn't the super strong current of like, I like you. We weren't quite there yet, but it was like, who's this character that just keeps recurring? Maybe I should like meet him. Like, what's going on? Then he says to me on the phone, and this was like a trigger. He says, I wish I could take you out. And I'm like, them's fighting words, buddy. Them's dangerous words, bucko. That's all you needed to tell me, is that you wish you could take me out. And the only thing that was keeping us was distance. So I did a super unpopular thing and booked a round trip ticket so that I was in his area. Whoops. A lot of women would tell you not to do that. Don't go see a stranger. Don't go on dates with strangers. Don't be in their, why would you put yourself in his town? He should come to you. All of that formal stuff. And I get the advice from a safety perspective. But like I had other things to do that weekend. I had voiceover to record. I like escaping to be in the woods. That is like one of my favorite things to do. Just like rent a random, you know what I'm saying, Airbnb or something and just go enjoy some solitude. And I think that for him, he was cautious. Like he was like, who is this stranger? Right. So though we were building a bit of a connection, I can't say we were building a relationship, though we were building a connection from like March to September-ish, it, it wasn't the type of connection that's going to spur him all of a sudden to book a flight. Like that's a real personality thing. Do you know what I mean? He expressed to me verbally, oh, I'm finally at the place where like, I was focused on myself and like growing my career. Now I'm like, I wish I could take you out. So I just made those puzzle pieces connect. That's all I did. I took point A and point B and said, let's meet at C. You know what I mean? And so 1 + 1 = 2. We met up. He took amazing care of me that entire weekend. He asked me about all my favorite stuff, planned out 6 mini dates. We went to the animal shelter because he knows that I really like dogs and that I worked with rescue dogs. And we pretended to be a couple that was looking for an animal to adopt, which is so sweet. So we got to like hold hands and walk around the animal shelter, walk around together. We scootered at night. We went up to the Capitol. He took me out to dinner while holding my hand. We ordered dinner in. We watched a comedy special. We watched some animated content or anime. I think it was Agretsuko. Yeah, we started watching Agretsuko together, which was so sweet. And this is like a guy who, other than a couple FaceTimes, he's a stranger, right? But we just bonded. And we had a really, really good time that weekend of just like, connecting and opening up and going from, I'm not really in a dating place. I don't really care what happens here. I don't care what this turns into. We went from all of that to like, he told me on our final hike, we took this gorgeous hike to a waterfall where I was crying because I was grieving my grandmother. And we take this hike to a waterfall. He says to me, I wasn't dating, but then there's you. And that was such the way that made me tingle. Like, it was such a funny sentiment because I think we really do make exceptions for people. You know what I mean? Like we find ourselves in these deep, dark spiritual places where we're like, oh, I'm so worn out of dating and I'm so closed off. But he opened and I opened. It was almost like we were the keys to like unlock each other. It was just gorgeous. And up until the very last day, I was just thinking this is a cool weekend that, I'll always remember and that'll be it. This will be something that I thought was comfortable and great and encouraging and that'll be it. Because that's how it had gone before, these sort of like one-hit wonders of amazing dates. And then finally, he goes, I wasn't dating, then there's you. So I was like, oh, this is a relationship. This could be a relationship. This is something I'm interested in pursuing. So I left his area. I flew back home and I'm thinking about this guy and we are like texting each other as we are leaving and driving and landing at airports. And it was just immediately special. I sent him some poetry and then we began talking. We went from chatting a week, to every day. And every single night we're FaceTiming each other and we're on the phone and we're opening up. And that's how our love developed. It happened first, at a distance, then a little bit of up close, and then months of distance. And I think it took him, let's go, September, October, November. It took him 4 months of talking to ask me to be his girlfriend because that's his process. So if you want to talk about, well, I don't want to send the DM because I want a man to lead. Oh, I let that man lead. Is it Jill Scott who said, like, you can't tell me what to do unless you can tell me what to do? I let that man lead. Because for me, I'm, as you see, I'm slightly impulsive. I know what I want when I want it. I'm quick with it. I'm so quick with it. I'm very quick. He wanted to take his time. He wanted to take it nice and slow. So I let him do that. And I just let myself be romanced. I let myself be asked about. I let myself be contacted from there, right? Because now in my head, I'm like, I've done my part, right? I put myself out of my way. I brought myself down here so that you could facilitate this experience for me, so that you could take care of me. I shot my shot. I made myself as a complete stranger known to you so that you could contact me. And all of the best things happened. So that's our kind of little love story. That happened last year. and he asked me to be his girlfriend. And now, 1 year later, here we are. So we just celebrated our 1 year anniversary. If you go to my Instagram, joyofodu, you can see the little post that I wrote to him. It's such a weird experience juggling, like, the perpetual state of being online and in a relationship as like a influencer or creator, with just like the personal messages I want to give to him. But I am really happy to like open up and share about how we feel and about all of my love. He's somebody who accepts me for me, and I very much believe that I met him because of this manifestation, because of the videos that I was dropping and everything that I put out there. All of my failures and successes in dating led to this man. And from here, we can only hope that it continues. I'm no longer in a state, after having been in a 7 year relationship, I'm no longer in a state where I believe, oh, just everything is it. Right. But I have a deep sense that it is, or that it can be. And I pray that it is. Like, I want it so bad. And it's nice to be in something where somebody wants it just as much as you, is making active plans towards the future with you. So, yeah, hopefully I can get him on and we can talk more about that. But, ladies, please don't let me get too sappy, like a sap in a tree. That was bad and off tone. Don't let me get too sappy now. Snap out of it! Snap out of it! Ooh, ooh. Okay, wow. Wow, we were simping hard. I'm here to tell you to message first. When we get back, I'm going to tell you why I think this message worked, and great opening messages and reasons to shoot your shooty shot. But it's time for a mented moment. This is where we interrupt the show for some beautiful reflection. So, center your thoughts for just one moment and ask yourself, am I dating in the way that's best for me? Am I dating in the way that's best for me? And two, who allowed me to look this good? Who allowed me to look this good? When I want a natural soft glam that is made for my skin tone, I choose Mented Cosmetics, because hello, Mented is Black owned and it makes me look effortlessly gorgeous. Just look at that beat today. Well, see that? Yeah. If this is your first time shopping, you can have more mented moments by using my code joyofodu for 15% off. Treat yourself to some beautiful Black owned skincare products that feel good and look even better at mentedcosmetics.com with the code joyofodu.
Dating unsettled.
So I promised you that when we came back from our mented moment, that we would talk about great opening messages and why it worked. I think that my message to my now boyfriend worked because, one, it was an honest reflection of where I was at the time. Like, where I was at the time is in a place where it wasn't that I gave up on love, but I was casual. I don't care if things went up or down. A lot of traumatic stuff had happened in my life, successes, failures. I was just like, hey, if you're in the East Bay, hit me. Hit me, buddy. Yada, I mean, it happened and trap it. Like, that's how I felt. That's exactly how I felt. If this works, cool. If it doesn't, cool. If he responds, awesome. If he doesn't, bye. It was low pressure. And I think that's what enabled me to send it. He was one of many people that I was swiping on at the time, right? It's low pressure. Great. What is the worst thing that's going to happen if I send this message? Nothing. So I sent it off. And then finally, it's pretty low stakes. Like, the low pressure environment of contacting somebody who doesn't really know you is dope. And then low stakes. Like, again, if this truly doesn't work out, I'll be fine. I get to go on with my life. I get to live as I originally planned. Some great opening messages are what I'd recommend if you're in a spot now where you're like, okay, Joy, I'm feeling a little inspired. And you're like, I want to shoot my shot. I would say you can say, hey, I really like your face. I love sending messages like that. I love your elbow. Like, just unsettle him. Starting with humor is great. Humor is a great equalizer. Just get him a little bit unsettled. I like your face. That's great. Another thing you could say is, hey, I saw you on insert dating app here, and I want to say that I love your anything. It could be absolutely anything. Hey, I saw you on this dating app. Wanted to say I love your, could be I love your smile. Could be I love your eyes. I love the size of your ears. That's disturbing. We have a sound for that. That'd be a little unsettling if I got that one, but it still works. I'd be like, wait, what? You love my ears? The point about these messages is that someone's going to respond if they think that you're cute. That's the science. It really doesn't matter what comes out of your mouth. I don't think my boyfriend, would have really, my now boyfriend, would have responded to me with such like enthusiasm. Oh, I will for sure. Where are you from? If he didn't scan my profile and think that I was even like a little bit cute. He swears that he wasn't like led by the physical, and I do believe him. He's, he didn't lead with physical flattery once we started talking. But I think the shooting your thought, shooting your thought, the shooting your shot thing is, it can be simplified to, if I get a message from you and I think you are somewhat attractive, I'm going to respond. I'm going to open that joint up and be like, hello, hi, come into my car. I sound like an attacker. Come into my car and eat this candy. No, but seriously, that's what's gonna happen. If I think you're cute, I'll respond. It's that simple. So I think that that's why the message worked. I think that those are some great messages to start with. When we try to get too creative with our opening messages on dating apps, I think we fall flat. This is not a movie. Like, people are not gonna walk up on you and say something super slick unless they've been trained by media that that's how they should approach you. Do you really want somebody to run up on you like you're at a Renaissance fair? Hello, divine madam, I perchance saw thou'st bosom, and it was bosoming. Like, that's not how you want to be approached. So why do you feel the need to run up on a guy like that? Just say hello. And people will argue that hey is a horrible message. Oh, I don't respond to guys who just write hey. Why not? If you were at a club, you were at a library, you were at Starbucks, and a guy walked up to you and he goes, hey, you're telling me you're just gonna just blink? That, to me, that's so, whew. If it works for you to screen out the type of men that you're looking for, cool. But like, that doesn't do it for me. If I'm a human being, I'm humble. Somebody approaches me and says, hey, I'm gonna say hey back. So why have we decided that on the internet, just because everybody else says hey is a really bad message, why have we made that a rule? That's if someone says hey to you, say hey back. Hello, hi, hola, ¿qué tal? Like, it's that simple. So to me, I'll meet hey with hey. And then I think the final thing that I want to do is talk you into it. Because now I've been going on for a while, and I want to give you some reasons to shoot your shot. Number one, you're gonna be in control of your love life if you do this. Let me take off these earrings because I feel like they're just jingling and they're making noises that I don't want them to make. What is this hand? Am I about to roast you? I'm about to roast you. No, but reasons to shoot. You're going to be in control of your love life. Okay. So take it into your own hands by sending the first message. This is something that you can do. Don't let life happen to you. This whole thing is a hype. I want you to open up your phone right now. If you're not driving, open up your phone right now if it's accessible to you, and just prepare that message. Be in control. Why, man, woman, non-binary person, open up that phone and send that message. This is yours to own. No one else can feel it for you. Only you can let it in. No. Natasha Bedingfield warned us. Feel the earth on your skin, or the rain. It would be really weird to feel the earth on your skin. Unless you were buried. Okay. Think about the worst thing that they can say. I mean, what's the worst thing they're going to say? They're going to point out one of your insecurities, like your large forehead. They're not going to do that. Probably. So just shoot. Next, if this goes ideally, you'll be in a relationship. So I want you to visualize, as you have this message open to this person, visualize that this actually works out like it did for me. I didn't know it would when I sent that message, but just visualize that it works out. This person goes, yep, oh, boo, 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 you're cute. I want to be inside your spleen. And then next thing you know, you're in a committed relationship. How beautiful would that be? Visualize this working. Visualize it going all the way. Yeah? Okay. When you shoot this, I want you to know that shooting at that's, you gotta be really sensitive. Shooting your shot at other people will become much easier. And shooting your shot for other things will also become easier. So just, if you can send this really scary message to a complete stranger that you just think is cute, I don't care what state, I don't care what country they're in, Look at Tony and Taye, okay? You can shoot across state lines, country lines. You can shoot across passport stamps, and this person might respond. And you might end up in a relationship across the pond. If you can do that, think about how much easier it will be to do other scary things in your life where you have to open your mouth and ask. Think about how much simpler it's going to be to ask for that raise at work or that grant. It's just you putting yourself in the practice of being delusional, right? Asking for delusional things. Oh, but why should this person respond to me? I don't know. Why shouldn't they? Just go ahead and shoot. You also need the dating practice. If you're listening this far, you either are just entertained by my voice, need some background noise on because you're scared of being alone in your physical space, or you need some dating practice. You need to get out there, tiger. So take this practice. Practice makes perfect. Know that no one can shame you for what you want. They can try, but they can't actually shame you for wanting that healthy thing that you are looking for. You are shooting your shot at somebody who is in your range, in your league. They can try. They can try to shame you, but they won't effectively do it. The people who are sitting around the dinner table and the people who, they are judging you. It's your aunties, your uncles, your cousins, your friends being like, why would you put yourself out there? Why would you get on a dating app? They can't shame you, baby. They can't do it. This person may not even know that you like them. So there's another reason to shoot. You might be thinking, oh, well, I liked 4 Instagram posts in a row and they're just not responding. This person may not even know. They may not even know that you have a crush. So tell them, David Archuleta, tell them about your crush. Open up. It's okay. And it's helpful. If I know that someone has a crush on me, I will perceive them differently. I'll be like, oh, I'm looking at you way different. There's a lot, not a lot. That's weird. There are a couple people that I wish had told me that they had a crush on me outright. Had I heard that, I would have moved differently. Right? So we need that. We need that. You get the chance to figure out if you have a chance with them instead of just wondering. So a lot of us will sit there and just go, "Oh, well, I just don't know if he likes me." Da, da, da. So why not ask? Why not DM, hey, would you want to? And you don't have to ask them out. You don't even have to go that far. You don't have to ask them physically anywhere. But figure out if you have the chance. Get the answer. It's like that person that's like, oh, any of you like reading the end of a book first? You like to watch the end of a movie, or you like those spoilers? Get the spoiler. Find out. Kill it. I think some of you don't want to shoot your shot because you're worried that the outcome is going to end the experience. That's you're worried that when you find out, it's going to kill this like faraway crush and this buzz and this tension. And honestly, it might. It very well might. You might shoot your shot. You might DM him, whether he's a close friend or a distant stranger, and it's going to kill everything that you thought was possible. You just have to embrace that reality, though. What you will still live if that happens. So embrace it and start somewhere. Building something worthwhile, especially a relationship, it takes time, it takes effort. So propel yourself on your dating journey. Start somewhere. Start with this message. Just start. Just start. Okay, before I get constipated, just begin. Just start this journey of figuring out if you could find love with this close friend of yours or best friend of yours or complete stranger. Just send the first message so that you can start it. Whether it fails, whether it succeeds, whether it takes them a week to get back, a year to get back because they didn't see it before, at least you would have started. And then I recommend, keeping a little bit of a rasta. Don't over focus. After you send the message, leave it. Don't come back to it and wonder, oh my God, did they answer it yet? Did they respond? Unless that's part of the fun for you, go ahead, do what you want. I'm not the feds. I'm not watching your internet use. Do what you want. But I recommend leaving the message alone. Send it, leave it. Go on to the next one. Send 5 more. Shoot your shot at 10 men. Just make sure that they're not line brothers or roommates, and you're good. Make sure one is not the other's mentor, big bro. Just shoot. Shoot at a variety of men. Go on 4 dates in a weekend because you can. Just because you can. Do I have anything on my face? Do it. I hope that this works for you. I hope that it's energizing. I got a DM from an unsettler that I want to read in the middle of this episode. I know you're like, Joy, that's not the format. Guess it doesn't matter. Guess you're on my platform now. Let's take a look and figure out what this unsettler is asking. What this unsettler wants to know. Okay, so this is from someone I'm going to call D. And D said, "Hey Joy, longtime listener, first time caller. Love your content and appreciate your willingness to share ideas, advice, and a wee bit of yourself. Thanks, D." Okay, so they said, "I have a dating question. Shooting your shot in the DMs. It worked for you, you found him. Does it ever work when a man writes out of the blue? Or does it 90% of the time seem creepy and gross? I wouldn't ever want to make someone feel uncomfortable. I'm just curious on your perspective and I'm looking for guidance. I'm in my 40s, live in Europe, but I lived for over 10 years in the Bay Area. I work in marketing. I'm talking about writing someone age appropriate, and I'm single, just to be clear. Anyway, congrats on everything. Looks like you're on a roll, at least through social media. Sincerely, D." Thanks, D. That is like really sweet of you, like for real. So I appreciate you following my journey. But this is a great question for us to end the episode with, which is when a man shoots, you know what I'm saying? How does it work? Does it ever not seem creepy? I'll say, yeah, I had guys slide on me. I had guys slide on me. I I think the fear for any slider of any gender is that if we're sliding, we are like immediately more interested and are putting ourselves below the person who we're shooting at. I think that's the fear. The fear is like, okay, so I'm going to look desperate. I'm going to look stupid. I'm going to look thirsty. I'm going to look like I need it more than they do. No. I mean, maybe to someone who's insecure. But in reality, you just have to get that conversation going. So, as a man, I think you have the advantage that a lot of people already expect you to send the first message. D and other men who are listening, my other male unsettlers, the 20% of you or so. As a man, they already expect you to message first, especially if you're interested in women. So take that natural advantage. The way to not be creepy is you don't have to lead with physical flattery. Like as a woman shooting at men, the message "I like your face" works really well. But as a man shooting at women, saying "I like your face" is like, whoa. So I would say, move like Yvonne. Don't focus on physical flattery. You don't have to lead with like intrusive questioning. You can just pick up something you observed about her interests, especially her interests. Does she, like running marathons? She like knitting? Is she a plant mom? Ask her, is that a phylum xenophobum? Is that a phylum philanderum lavenderum diddliosis? Is that a Wingardium Leviosa in your window? Dang, mama, let me come see that Wingardium. Ha ha. I'm gonna propagate that ass. Like, you don't have to be creepy, but just pick one of her interests and touch on that. And it's that simple. Again, I think asking somebody out in the very first message when you're not on a dating app, you're least likely to meet success. This is my completely non-data backed opinion. That if you start saying, "Can I take you out?" Because anytime I would get messages from men that are like, "Can I take you out?" I'm like, no. Like, that's the first message. I don't care who you are. You haven't even said hi to me. Like, engage me in a conversation. Hey on Instagram is not going to do as well as hey on a dating app. So don't send just hey on IG. Hey and something. And then I would just follow up with like something about the interests, or if they're in your network, like they're a friend of yours. Hey, I always see you around the office and I wanted to know, like, would you be open to da 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 da? You know, would you be open to da da da? You want to go to the party together this weekend? Can I meet you at the club? Hey, have you ever taken a cooking class? Can you imagine? Oh my God, ladies, can you imagine you get a message from a man, or men who are interested in men? Fellas, you imagine you get a message from a man and the first message is just like, "Hey, have you ever taken a cooking class?" It's like, wait, what? Or, "Hey, have you ever taken a dance class? Yoga class? Hey, have you ever tried hot yoga?" Hot yoga could be a little creepy. Okay, but yeah, just something non-physical and delightful. "Hey, have you ever taken a painting class?" And just figure out what type of person that person is, because that'll determine how they respond a little bit to the message. If you think she would be open to something totally weird, like a rage room. You want to show you want to show her you want to show you her at your angriest. Maybe this will work for somebody you know. If it was a guy that I already knew and he was like, "Hey Joy, have you ever been to a rage room?" I'm immediately answering. Like that's so cool. Obviously, he's like, asking me out on a one-on-one capacity. Like, yeah, let's do a rage room and dinner. I'll be like, "Hell yeah." So I hope that that helps, D. The best way to not be creepy as a man shooting your shot is to not be creepy. That's it. And how does it work? It does. There are millions of men and women and people in relationships, and these relationships began because somebody contacted somebody. Sometimes they got match made, sometimes they got arranged, sure. But somebody had to contact somebody. So it might as well be you.
Dating Unsettled.
As we wrap up, let's hear a few words from the Hall of Fame. You get to hear directly from the men that I dated. What was their experience? So I know that I usually get the guys that I dated before to do a Hall of Fame. But today, especially because I'm celebrating my anniversary of a year with Yvonne, I wanted to do a Hall of Fame from him. When we got into our relationship, I was taking really detailed notes of the things that he would say to me that struck me, that made my heart flutter and want to physically jump out of my chest, which is a sensation I've only felt a few times. I'm feeling it tug even now as I'm talking about it. But I love this feeling of being in love and swooning. And I think that this really accurately encapsulates how my man feels about dating me, enough that I can share. I think there are other many, many amazing paragraphs and cards and passages that he's written to me over the course of our year-long relationship. But I just thought I would leave you with this one so that you know that there's hope at the end of DMing him first. He writes, "I want to kiss you every day, and I want to hold your hand every day. And I want to feel the heat that emits from you every day. And I want to dance with you every day. I miss you." I love this one. I'm a words of affirmation girl. I need to hear it. So the fact that he told me that he wants to show up for me every day just absolutely means the world. So DM him first, ladies and gentlemen. And good luck.
Dating Unsettled.
Okay, I'm sorry. I promised you I would go away, but I have to cut in some bonus footage because, like, as soon as I finish recording, I get a text that says, "Go outside, step outside." I was like, "Step outside?" Love God. Compare them to my head for size. My boyfriend got me flowers. This is a video exclusive. Okay. Carry on.
Dating Unsettled.
Thanks for listening, Unsettlers. Follow Dating Unsettled for weekly episodes wherever podcasts are found so you don't miss an episode of your new favorite show. If you can't get enough of me, subscribe to my newsletter at datingunsettled.com. DM me your dating stories on Instagram at datingunsettled. I want to know how dating is going for you. See you next week.